Hi, I am Kevin, and welcome to what is going to be a playthrough session and a preview of the Riftspark early alpha demo that I put out earlier today. Disclaimer before we start up looking at it, this build is mainly built to only look at some things. The things you might see and come across in here are not supposed to be in the final game, at least a lot of them, and placeholder materials are in place for other things. So, when we jump into the game, we get presented with a chip in front of us like this. You can move around with the WASD keys, and you can move the camera around with the mouse, as the build is for Windows currently. And with that said, you can also scroll to zoom in on chip, which by scrolling on the mouse wheel actually brings you closer or further away from the character to a set minimum maximum point. Like I think this is the closest, yeah. If you want to get even closer, you can run towards a wall with the camera collides, and now you're getting really close. Chip, can you please move away a bit? Ah, there we go. Alright, so let's jump ahead. Ah, hello there. So before we begin, you should know two things. Chip can walk on water in this alpha just like Jesus. A lot of things that could be here are not, and since you see this prompt, you at least know how to move, so jump with spacebar. Seems to work. Great. Now this is a Rift Ember. It functions as your health. Yes, I managed to implement that. The image above indicates how much health it will heal you for, and these are only supposed to be present during the alpha, like the thing you can see up there to the right. Pick that up. We're already at full health, so it's not going to do anything to us. And I'll set it to short respawn so you can pick it up again if you want to. But yeah. Alright, that's that. Let's move along. So we have some cactus here. It seems as if we can only get further by removing these pointy plants. You see where I put the health nearby? To destroy a killable object, you simply just aim towards it and press 3. Like that. Simple. Alright, see, there's even health waiting for us on the other side. Oh yeah, I remember this part. So, holy moly, a road of them. Now, we could use 3 here, but for the sake of fun, how about you run and jump while in the air, press 2. Yeah, in the air. That actually brings the sword up above Chip, and this is an attack, just like the other one. They are only supposed to be here during the alpha, but at least it will give you like a brief preview of what's to come and how it works. Let's take a look at this. This is a lost piece of documentation. To your left, on the screen, you can see documents 0, unless you ran over stuff already. We haven't, so yes. It's a pickup that in a later version will count towards unlockabilities. So keep in mind that these are going to be important later on when the game is actually being developed into the fuller game version. And this is a bolt. It's a placeholder item for another pickup type that will be in the final game. However, in this alpha it counts towards documents, as you might notice to the left. And there are around 100 of these scattered around. I think it's even 158 or something like that. If you manage to pick up 100, there's actually a fun thing that happens. But I'm not going to tell you here. It's very small, but it's a bit of an Easter egg that kind of gives you away a bit of what's to come in the game. For those of you who are playing it. And for those of you who are not, you have to wait and see. Let's see, jumping into this little smoky area. This is an unsafe zone. It damages you rapidly over time while you're in it. And as you notice, the health is just ticking away like no tomorrow there. Right, do we have any health packs nearby? Might just as well take this cactus out. There we go. Pick up some of these pickups. Seems, I mean, if there's that many around, why not pick them up? It's a satisfying sound, at least. If you've kept your eyes up in the left-hand corner of the screen, you'll notice there's a building there, but there's also a little thing on the ground, like the blue thing, that's actually a full health heal. So if we run over that, we're gonna heal full. It actually gives us, as you might notice, all 8 health back, so that's nice. About the house, I'll come back to that in a bit. Right, so this is a corrupted cacti. It can't be destroyed and will cause more damage to you when approached. When further up in development, these will actually have like a bouncy animation when you strike them with an attack. Well, anyway, let's just go and pick up the Rift Ember and get our full health back. And oh yeah, by the way, as I mentioned, this is the house. We could just likewise walk up to the door for the sake of it. I mean, it's not gonna hurt. Alright, so sadly this door is locked during the alpha, especially since this house isn't even supposed to be here. And yes, this is not an actual world for Riftspark, like I mentioned earlier. There is an indoor environment, however, no way to get there, or is it? No, there isn't. I'll be honest, there is no way to get to the indoor environment in this build. And that is mainly due to the fact that I haven't programmed that part to work yet, so I kept the door closed. Anyways. Come on, look at the bike. Yeah, we all know we wouldn't look at that. Right, so this is the Rift bike. Now, most of this text is just here to help the people who are testing it out, but if you press R, we're actually going to scramble, and when scrambling, we're actually going to have a bag on our back, and there's going to be a bag in front of us, and we're going to do this animation when we're scrambling. I'll tell you more about that later on, but at least, if we are scrambling and we press Shift, we get to jump onto this little machine, if we do have it, but in the alpha, we have it by default, so... Jokes on all of those of you who are playing the alpha and haven't figured that out already. Sorry, not going to be rude. But yes, nonetheless, we simply jump onto it by pressing R and then Shift. So there we have it. I like the sound effects on that. You'd be amazed how simple that sound is actually when it comes down to what it's made of. But I'll tell you that in another video. Alright, let's ride around a bit and take a look at the rest of the environment. Now, while we're doing that, I'll tell you a bit more about the philosophy of the game. As you might have noticed, you have a weapon on the back. You're not supposed to have that from the start. The game itself is actually not supposed to start out like this hack and slashy kind of game feel. It's supposed to be more of like a puzzle exploration part that gets you used to the controllers of the game. And then later on, as the game continues, it's going to be very story heavy and a lot of puzzle mechanics that are tied to how well you use your abilities and figure out neat and nifty ways to combine abilities and attacks to do certain moves or come across certain areas, and there is a lot of things that I'm not supposed to talk about in this video that is going to go into this game that I'm really looking forward to showing you in the future, like the rifts, for example. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that word there and not tell you what it is about. Oh yeah, by the way, if you just noticed on screen, we actually jumped through one of those tornadoes, and I've put a few around just for the sake of it. They're fun, they throw you up in the air, and there's supposed to be this animation when you actually land from them that I haven't implemented, where Chip is all this and stuff. But yes, with that said, there are the storyable objects like the cactus around in the world currently. There's supposed to be a lot more of them. They will be part of puzzles. Some of them will be demanding that you have a certain tool to break through them. There's supposed to be firearms. Exactly what they are, exactly how they work, I'm not going to tell you right now, but they are in development, and that's going to come further up ahead. There's actually quite a lot in store for this game through what's planned for it and what is actually being developed that I haven't shown here today. But I just want to leave it out for that one pristine moment when I can announce a bigger thing, like, for example, the first environment with all the interactions that's supposed to be in it, and kind of show that off. I think that's going to be a better way to do it. But I should say that there's a lot that I have kind of brought up in this video and not fully declared and given information about, and I've left open endings. But in the development video that I'm planning on putting out very soon, I'm going to go down into more details and programming, audio, graphics and all that user stuff. But since Chip has fainted, I think it's about time we end this video here. Hope you enjoyed watching what I have currently in the alpha, and there'll be more up ahead, so stay tuned.